Welcome to On the Spot with OPPO, where we connect you with inspiring entrepreneurs and innovators making their mark. Today we're here in Munich, where it's very sunny, very beautiful.
Unexpected,
and yeah, we're very lucky because we're here for the final of the UEFA Champions League 2025. This sets the perfect stage for stories of performance, precision, and resilience. And your story, your professional journey checks all three, right?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
Yeah, so welcome to On the Spot with OPPO. Gennaro?
Nice to meet you. I'm Gennaro. The pleasure is all mine to be here.
Yeah. So Gennaro, can you share a bit more about your professional journey? What were you doing? How do you get started? What led you to where you are today?
Okay, so I'm originally from Naples. I think you know the city. I'm coming from a family of entrepreneurs, but I decided that this was not the path that I wanted to follow. So I decided to take mechanical engineering. Then after graduation, I've been 1 year in an aerospace research center where I was studying fluid dynamics, and I was preparing my dissertation. And after that, I got several different opportunities, but then I decided to take the craziest one. And let's say, there were different opportunities with different kind of companies, but I fall in love with one that was resembling with me because of the company cultures and so on. So I started with them as a computational fluid dynamic engineer. I was working in the innovation team. So basically we were developing technologies to put on the shelf. I've been with them for nearly 11 years, where I've been progressing in my career. I gradually shifted from innovation to product development and project management. I was coordinating product development across different countries, including Mexico, China, Japan, India, Germany, Poland, and across different markets because we had different R&D centers at the time. Then I moved to Germany for a while, where I was leading a small R&D team. Then the team got bigger in China. I moved to China. And it was there where I shifted from R&D to operation. The team was getting bigger and bigger, till I decided to come back to Italy and completely change what I was doing. I mean, still in operation, but completely different company, industry, and completely different scope and scale. So I did this because I love challenges, and for me, every opportunity is the right one to prove myself. So I said, why not? And why not is what I used to say to myself and also to my team members when we try to innovate or change things.
Create solutions.
Yeah.
So I guess you're always asking the whys, the right question. Yeah, I guess
it helps you in funneling the attention and the focus on the right things to do. No, so I remember several projects I've been managing. And when you're clear about the reason why you do things and where you want to go, it's much easier to get things done. And it's much easier to get support from everyone. It's faster because you make fewer mistakes. You still make mistakes, and they're good because they're an opportunity for you to learn. But you get a lot of alignment and things proceed smoothly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Do you think there were some key turning points or challenges in your career, and how did you navigate them?
I think that I've got several. One of the most important one was the first project that I was following. It was quite interesting because I was still working in innovation team. And we were trying to do something completely different in the industry in terms of product. No, the company I was working for was Elica, and we were producing home appliances, mainly range hoods. It's this smoke suction system that you have on the cooktop. But at that time, we were thinking that it could be cool to have both cooktop and the suction system in one product. So We had several different requirements in terms of specification, size, energy efficiency, all the features of the product. And I think the way we worked on that project with the full commitment from the team was the key for our success. Although I think sometimes it's important to be the first, but what is most important is to be the best. So if you're able to be very much customer obsessed and you understand what you want from your product, it will be much easier to get it out of it. And if you try to put yourself in the consumer shoes and try to play with the product, to break it somehow.
Break it or stress test.
Stress test, yeah. It will help you in understanding what could be the right feature to add, or what is the right position for certain details, and yeah, it will make it much more user-friendly, and it will amaze customer because you don't need to be disruptive in innovation. I think you just need to be very much focused on what matters to the customer. You need to solve customer pain point, needs, and this is, in my opinion, innovation. Then another big challenge for me was when I moved to China. Because I've been traveling quite a lot, different countries. I've been working in UK, Germany, traveling back and forth from Mexico to Japan, China, India. But relocation to China was a completely different story. It started as a 3-month assignment, but eventually it ended up in 5 beautiful years in China. Where I've got a lot of stories to tell, and I think that this is also important. You need to enjoy the whole process, and yeah. But in the beginning, it was very challenging because the approach was completely different, the culture was completely different, and one of the main challenges was communicating with the team. Because we had different approach. It was not only about the language, because in Indian verbal communication you fix it. But it's all the background and hidden messages that you need to find.
The high context background.
Exactly. And this was one of the way I was trying to cope with it, because when you are in a high context communication culture, I think, in my opinion, the easiest way to get alignment is to be low context, but to clarify with
be direct.
Specific. You need to share with them. So, and I still remember that was one of the things that I did, because I read a book very interesting on this matter, the culture map, and so I tried to explain them what was the difference between my culture and their culture, and what could be the way that we start communicating and working together. And in the end, it worked beautifully, because I think that we did a lot of cool stuff. We have been growing together. They also supported me in the transition from R&D to operation, which is the other biggest challenge in my career, because I was shifting from R&D, product development, to operational. And the biggest challenge is that you completely change the time frame. Because when you are in innovation, product development, let's say more time means investment. So you are investing your time to get something better out of it. When you move to operation, more time means more cost. So it's an efficiency. So you completely shift your focus. The mindset needs to be a little bit different, but you still need to keep that long-term perspective. So the first 3 months were crazy, because I shifted from R&D to operation during COVID, in the beginning of the COVID. And there was a lot of uncertainty. Then luckily, in China, we were able to to retrieve production quite fast, because in the region where we were producing both for Chinese market but also for
Global
European
market.
one.
Okay.
And since in China there was still uncertainty, but we had to ship product abroad, the government let us start the factory. We were one of the first one, and we got a lot of pressure from Italy because then we got several weeks delays on production. They were pushing us to
Huge backlog.
Huge backlog to process, and I still remember that in 3 months we were able not only to fulfill all the orders but also to increase the output of the factory. I think that we increased by 80% the output, which was something we didn't do before. Very happy, headquarters happy. And I still remember that we had big celebration with the team. We went all out for dinner after
Celebrating
that.
a milestone.
That is always always important.
Lots of baijiu, I guess.
Yeah, beer by Joe.
Baijiu.
But it's good when we achieve
victories, right?
It's very good to celebrate with the team and making them feel part of the project. It's not only about me or the company, it's about us all together. And the very last challenge is when I shifted again industry, and yet again it's important the culture part, because you join a new company, they may have a different company culture, so you need to understand how to cope with it. And what I did is asking a lot of feedback. I was asking feedback to my directs, my team, my boss, and just to understand.
360.
If what I was doing was the right thing, because you make assumptions most of the time. What was working perhaps in my previous company could not work in the next one, and what was fine there probably might not be fine.
Don't make assumptions.
That is very, very important.
But I guess you're a very clear communicator to get a 360 feedback from all your work network, right?
Yeah, that's right. I think what is important is clarifying expectations.
Yeah, definitely.
Just align with the team on the communication mechanism, and it will be much easier. Transparency always pays back.
Yeah, I mean, in high context cultural backgrounds, you know that sometimes yes is not always a yes, no is not always a no, and a maybe is usually always a no.
It's just that I think the most important thing is that you don't stop to the first layer. You try to understand. You go beyond. Another important thing is to clarify that it's fine to make mistakes. So you don't need to be right at the first time. No? So and actually, what is important is to understand that if you make mistakes, you need to learn from them. As long as you get some lessons learned, it's okay to make mistakes. And the struggle was that sometimes they were saying yes, but it was not yes, so we had to do things several times. But on the other side, the speed you get things done in China is quite different from the speed you get things done elsewhere. So in the end, it's much more intense, let me say, compared to other places. But
but you have to be very focused in whatever you're doing to understand like the speed of change, the direction is going, right?
And for me it was very important everywhere I go in China, but also elsewhere. Whenever you have team meeting, you need a board. You need a board because with drawings, with structures, with frames, tables, you can be very clear about what you want. And it also helps you in be a little bit more creative and not following bullet points, agendas, and so on.
So your background spans, R&D, product innovation, and you have multiple patents and publications. Do you still have the inventor mindset, or like now being in a leadership role?
Mindset for me is about fundamental beliefs, and they don't vanish. So if you have that kind of mindset, you will try to innovate or change things in other different fields. No matter you are in a R&D setup, you work in R&D, or you progress and you have a leadership role. And the most important thing for me is always to keep your mind fresh. Be careful about making assumptions, because if you make assumption, then you might be wrong. One of the most important things is that if something works here, not necessarily it will be working there. If something is okay here, not necessarily it will be okay there. So if you always try to find a way to challenge the status quo, you will be able to somehow innovate. And innovation is not only about disruption, it's just improving a little bit, little by little. You know, we were discussing a few days ago about the Kaizen approach, continuous improvement.
Kaizen.
Yeah, and even trying to take something from different industry that works in a different industry, but it has never been used in your industry, is kind of innovation.
That's innovation.
You can innovate in terms of organizational structure.
Yep.
You know, if you decide to move an after-sales team that usually reports to the sales team under quality, then you shift the focus of quality, because in the end they will be paying whatever mistake you do. So they be much more careful, because after sales will be under your direct responsibility, and whatever problem you are not able to filter in the production will explode in your face. So also this can be kind of innovation. No?
Yeah, but it's good to understand these problems where it matters in the flow of how your organization is set up to be. Like, it's a very good point.
Another important thing is to say why not rather than no. So I used to ask why several times. I'm like a kid with my team, and this is beautiful, because, and I clearly tell them, I say, this is the way I am. I'll be asking you why several times. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's the right way to get to the point and understanding what is the root cause, what could be the right decision to take, and we are clear about this, and it works beautifully.
Yeah, your thought process is, I think, very logical, asking the whys and trying to link up the journey, the path, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm an engineer, so...
Yeah, you have to be, which is good. Yeah. Was there ever a moment early in your career where you realized that, your future would be leading people, not just building products?
That has been my goal all along. So since the beginning, I started working in innovation and working on product development as a team member, individual contributor. But my goal was very clear. I wanted to grow, and I wanted to build through others. And for me, it has been very important, and at every stage in my career, to define the next step. Was promoted, next day, I was already thinking what would be the next step. In 3 to 5 years, where I want to be, and what do I need to get there, and that is very important. Having clear the why again, why you do things.
Yeah, it's not by random occurrence, right?
No.
Everything's like planned.
You need to be lucky to have the right opportunities, but you need to be ready when they come. Because you cannot decide when they come, right? So it's better for you to be clear about what you need to be ready in the moment they come. And this has been my experience all along.
That's a very interesting perspective that you put it this way.
Yeah.
And actually we are alumnus, right? We both went to CEPS, so you are in the Gemba program. Was this essential in the transition from engineering to leadership?
It happened right when I was transitioning from R&D to operation. So I knew at the time that I like challenges. I'm curious, I like to challenge myself. I don't like comfort zone. So one of the things that I used to say is I feel comfortable while being uncomfortable. And this is where I always try to be, in the uncomfort zone. Because there you push yourself to get better. And yeah, at that time I knew that I was progressing in my career. The team was getting bigger and bigger. The challenges were more and more, and I felt like I missed something, which I found in the program. I think the program has given me a lot of new perspective on different matters, and then being a global executive MBA, you get to know people from different industries, countries, different roles in the company, and everyone can add with their stories, their experience. You learn quite a lot.
Do you think it's kind of like similar to what the Finance Club has in place?
Yeah, it's exactly the same. So I was quite surprised to meet amazing people. We had very good discussion over the last few days. They come from different countries with completely different experiences.
Life entertainment and football management.
Yeah, exactly.
Sporting.
And even though perhaps there were some touch point, I mean, me with Joe, we come both from Italy, but we're working in different countries. With James, we've been both in China, but yesterday we were just talking about some topics, and we had completely different perspective on that.
I love these conversations.
And what is good is that in the end, we were both right. So we were not able to define who was right, who was wrong, because perhaps we were both right. But this opens your mind, because perhaps you have your own point of view, but if you hear from others, maybe you also challenge yourself.
Yeah, and also feel inspired by,
of course, yeah.
Why is this amazing guy having this thought? And this brings me to an experience, because for us, we have a lot of our audience, maybe they're still in school, studying engineering. If you could give advice to young professionals, entering the workforce right now, what suggestions or advice would you give them?
For me, one very important thing would be always seek for feedback. Feedback are very important. Because usually, if you make mistakes, it's not because in the first place you wanted to make mistakes, no? And so it's very important to seek for feedback rather than giving answer, especially in the beginning. Be curious, try to learn as much as you can, take every opportunity to enrich yourself. Do not make any kind of assumption. Be fresh in mind, open, and listen carefully to what people say, and always be very clear about where do you want to go, and try to find somebody to follow. It's very important to, in every one of the roles that you will take over your career, it's very important to always have one point of reference, the person you aim to be, and try to fill the gap. And then next step, you try to find another one.
Very, very good advice. I think I did the podcast in Singapore, and this was also something that I learned. Yeah, find a point of reference, find someone that you model, and you want to be him in 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
What does he have that you don't have right now? Try to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, that is the key.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
That is the key, and then you can keep in contact, and perhaps this person can help you progress in your career.
It's like a mentor.
A
mentor. Yeah. So you have along the way you have like how many mentors you have?
Several. I'm still in contact with all of them.
Yeah.
All the steps in my career, I've tried to find one, and I'm still in contact with all of them. We have, of course, even though now we are working in different companies and in different countries, I still try to find the opportunity to drop a message, have a call, and talking about experiences, next steps, and what we are learning.
Yeah, it's always good to stay focused, especially with a mentor, trying to give support and also making sure things are going in the right direction.
Yeah.
giving advices. Yeah, I think good ideas come from these exchange of ideas and discussions.
In another thing that amazed me is when you take the right time to talk to people. When you set up meeting with, especially with your team, and you're trying to solve a problem, if you need to spend those 10 minutes more to hear from everyone, is invaluable, the contribution that people can give. Instead of rushing through the agenda with all the points, perhaps there will be people who will feel uncomfortable with this and they will not speak out their thoughts. But what is very important is that you set the stage for everyone to contribute. No?
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I do agree with you on these thoughts. Yeah, and speaking of high pressure, we hear during what is the most important football game of the year, the UEFA Champions League final. Do you follow the sports closely? And what are your expectations for the match being from Napoli?
Of course, I hope that Napoli will win. But this cannot happen, unfortunately, this year, because I hope that next year we're going to progress. Yeah, I follow sport. 1 week ago I was crying because Napoli won the first Scudetto, and we don't happen to win so many times. I think before of this, the last one was the year before, and before of that year, it was nearly 30 years that we were winning nothing. Almost nothing. But yes, I always follow sport during weekend, sitting on sofa. I have TV, the dog is close to me, but then sometimes she starts hiding herself because I can be very loud during Napoli football match. Yeah, as for tonight, I just hope to see a very good match, because usually the finals are head to head and
0-1 penalty, 5-6, 6-5.
Maybe I think that they will go to penalties.
Penalties, okay.
But let's see. The important for me is to enjoy, and I think we'll do. There will be an amazing background for us to enjoy the match, I guess.
Since we are going to the penalties, why not make it a 5-5? 5-5, and then penalties.
Oh yeah, it could be.
It's
good.
better than 0-0.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it could be good.
We need more action.
At least we see action. Yeah.
And if you had the opportunity to lead one of the teams for the day, what kind of unconventional leadership strategies or practices from your own experience would you introduce to secure the win?
Well, I don't think you need to be unconventional. In this, you need to be very conventional. So, and the easiest way to win is that everyone wants to. So, the first thing that you need to make sure is that
your teammates,
everyone is focused on the match. Everyone is working for the same objective. Because if the mind is somewhere else, the team won't be working together properly. So I think that the easiest way is to make sure that everyone will give his best. And this is also what I ask to myself and my team while working. So when we are at work, just give the best we can. If we need support from each other, let's support each other. But we need to work for the same goal, and we need to be all aligned.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Making sure everyone is thirsty to win. I think that's you really got the most important part, and just play like practice, right? Yeah. And do you see any connections between how high performance teams operate in sports and how do you approach leadership or collaboration in your own work?
There are a lot of point of contact, because leadership is about people. Sport is about people as well. And yet again, we go back to the same objective, making sure that there is harmony, making sure that everyone is committed, and there will be this hard work, the sacrifice that need to needs to be shared, and I think then the rest will come. The rest will come. You need to be open and flexible to adapt, because there are uncertainty. Perhaps football player got injured and you need to adjust. Again, go back when the opportunity comes. Make sure you're ready for it.
Ready. Yeah.
So always make sure that within the team you have the right competencies and more people who can get you to the right place.
Yeah. And you've been following football for what, all your life, right?
Yeah, since I was a kid.
Yeah. So how do you think technology is changing the sport, and and also the way we experience them? Let's talk about football.
Football, I think that 30 years ago it was not that easy to. I mean, I've been in China. I was still following the football match of Napoli. There was time difference, but I was able to do it. If I go back 30 years, I think it wouldn't be so easy for me. I mean, with a smartphone you can watch the match. Technology is in everyday life, including sport. If you think about the investment that have been made in developing new kind of shoes, high-performing fabrics to enhance the player's performance, you see that there's a lot of technology, and watching a match is becoming more and more immersive. So even though you watch it from home or you go to the stadium, it's not only the match anymore, but is all the entertainment that there is around, and this is possible only because of technology.
I mean, going to the game, I think what I want tonight is getting the goosebumps.
If, let's say, not 30 years ago probably we had, but 50 years ago you go to watch a match, you cannot take selfie with your favorite football player, or you cannot take a video so easily. There were cameras, but they were not affordable for everyone.
All the moments would stay.
Stay in mind. Which is good, you still have, but of course, if you can.
Everyone wants to share their social network as well. Right?
Sometimes I forget about them, but then my phone remembers me that specific moment with those specific people we enjoyed a lot. It's good. And going back to what we were discussing before, one of my former colleagues, time to time, he's sending me messages and he's saying, my phone is remembering me that 5 years ago we were doing this together. It's crazy.
It's very easy to connect two people now.
Exactly.
And speaking of technology, during this event, the Finest Club UEFA Champions League special, you've had the opportunity to test out our latest and our best flagship yet, the Finex 8 Ultra. What were your first impressions?
The phone is amazing, especially the penta camera. We took a lot of photos yesterday, 3 pair, 6 pair. The resolution is very high, and you do not lose any of the details. The colors are bright. The night mode is amazing.
You've tried it at night?
We've been trying for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And by the way, in 24 hours, I didn't charge it yet. So
How is it?
Battery is 80%. So it's crazy.
Very different from what you used to.
Very different. You saved me, man.
Yeah, and I also said I'm sorry for not bringing this device to you earlier.
It's now is much better, believe me. And then this unlocking by fingerprint is so responsive. Yesterday I was trying to.
Oh yeah, I see your laser focus. You're trying to break it through a stress test. Please don't work. Please don't work.
Engineering.
Yeah, I see in your eyes you were expecting it to not work at some point.
We have this kind of.
It's an occupational hazard.
We want to try to break things. Stress
Yeah.
test is always the best one, because it will tell you if the product does its work.
But so the testing that we went to optimize the fingerprint.
I guess there was a lot of time spent and effort, and going back to investing in R&D. You invest time. You do not waste it.
So I see you like photography as well. Was there like favorite photo that you have? Can you maybe show it to me?
I think that the one that we took yesterday with the players, with Kaká and Cafu, but also this one I like very much. The one we took last night.
Yes.
All,
It's a
all
selfie.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you show it to the camera like that? Okay.
Yeah, this was funny.
Yeah. So yeah, is there a specific moment this weekend you're looking forward to capturing? Selfies.
Yeah, selfies with Allianz Arena background. Did I tell you about the challenge I did in China? When I transitioned from R&D to operation, I wanted not to be seen as the alien because I was working the factory several times per day. And then I had this poker face, so I think that somehow people were feeling, I don't know, a bit scared of me.
Why are you so angry?
Yeah. It's always in a rush and so on. So I said, okay, let's do this challenge. I'll take in 1 month selfie with every one of the people working with me. So I was going through the assembly lines to the workshop and so on, stopping them, let's take a selfie together. And it was good because then we got this kind of connection, no? It was nice, and then since then, the best part of me taking photos for me is making selfies with people.
I'm excited. I'm happy that you're here for the game and also to try out our device. Hopefully, we were able to change some perceptions or perspective about like OPPO devices.
Oh, you surprised me. You surprised me.
For good or for bad?
For good.
Okay.
What is finding about, no? It's about surprising.
I guess this is what the Finance Club is about as well, right? Elite minds, extraordinary experiences.
You put together seeking and finding, no? Because you're curious, you seek for something, then you find it, but if surprises you, is much better, no?
That's the wow
effect.
The wow factor, the wow surprise factor. Yeah.
Great job.
Thank you. Yeah, and
thanks to you for inviting me and for providing me such an interesting experience.
Hopefully, Napoli will appear next year, and you'll be joining us, and I'll see you cry.
Yeah, you will. You will.
And that's it for this episode of On the Spot with OPPO. Thank you very much, Gennaro. And
thanks to you again.
Enjoy the game tonight.
Thank you. Forza Napoli.
Forza Napoli.